name is Borash Mirsat. I'm a student from the group PD24-R. So my today's theme is Norman invasion and Hundred Years' War. So let's start with the Normans. They were originally Vikings from Scandinavia. During the 9th and 10th centuries, these warriors raided many parts of Europe, including the coasts of Britain and France. Over time, some of these Vikings began to settle instead of raid. They became known as Normans, which comes from the phrase Northmen, meaning people from the north. In the early 10th century, the Normans migrated to France. In 911, the French king Charles the Simple made an agreement with the Viking leader Rollo. Rollo was given land in northern France in exchange for protecting the region from other Viking attacks. This land became known as Normandy. The Normans adopted French culture, language, and Christianity, but they kept their strong military traditions. By the 11th century, they had become powerful nobles in France. Edward the Confessor was the king of England from 1042 to 1066, and the 1066 year AD was a red letter day. He had strong connections to Normandy because he spent much of his early life there. When Edward died without an heir, several powerful men wanted to take over the English throne. The first is Anglo-Saxon King Harold Godwinson, the Norwegian King the Harald III, Norman King William the Bastard. They would meet in battle independently in battles of Hastings and Stamford Bridge. Godwinson defeated the Harald III. However, at the same time, William the Bastard invaded from the south in Hastings. Godwinson wanted to fight William, but he was exhausted and his troops were limited. Therefore, Harold Godwinson died from the William's army, and William won the crown and was titled as conqueror. The Hundred Years' War had a big influence on England. It was a long series of conflicts between England and France that lasted from 1333 to 1453. It began because English kings claimed the French throne and wanted control over France's lands. Although England won some early battles, such as Crecy and Agincourt, the war eventually ended with France regaining most of its territory. Also, this war had a big influence on English people. It increased national identity among English people as they began to see themselves as separate from the French. Many soldiers and common people took part in the war, which raised the importance of ordinary Englishmen, especially archers and peasants. However, the war also caused heavy taxation, loss of life, and economic problems for the population. Despite the fact of the influence on English people, it also influenced on English language. Before the war, French was the language of the English ruling class, including government and law, while English was mainly spoken by common people. During and after the Hundred Years' War, hostility towards France made French less popular in England. As a result, English began to replace French in government, education, and literature. This period saw the rise of Middle English, and more standard Middle English developed, especially around London, because it was the political, economic, and cultural center of England. This standard form was used in official documents and writings, helping English become a national language. At the same time, many non-standard forms of Middle English continued to exist in different regions, such as the North, Midlands, and South. These regional dialects varied in pronunciation, spelling, and vocabulary. Ordinary people mostly spoke these local dialects, while the standard form was mainly used in administration and literature. To sum up, the Hundred Years' War strengthened the English people identity and helped establish English as the main language of England. It played an important role in the development of standard Middle English, while regional non-standard dialects remained widely spoken among the population. Also, in addition, the printing press really helped to uh, make standard English more ubiquitous, which means that printing the books, newspapers, prophets in one language with same pronunciation and spelling um, helped it to uh, spread the London dialect across the England. So that was my presentation or video about the Norman invasion, Middle English, and the Hundred Years' War. Thanks for attention.